Episode 4 of A Time Called You begins with the scarred guy reading Junhee's texts. She talks about her days and how she is trying to cope but she cannot move on. At that moment, he sees that Junhee is calling. He picks up to hear her voice and cuts it as he breaks down. He then meets with Minju's uncle, Kai-won. He says he knows he shouldn't let her know about him as it will all be in vain. He switches off the phone as Junhee calls again and says they can't have any more distractions. At the office, Junhee tries to find Yeonjun's phone location. Na-yoon is curious as well and they decide to hack into the phone. Sang-ho, the male colleague, is against hacking but gives in as they bribe him with a retreat voucher for his girlfriend. They learn that the phone was last in 27 Cafe and the bills are paid by Nam Si-hyun. Junhee is shocked and rushes to the cafe where she waits all night for Kai-won. She even asks the employee if he knows Si-hyun but he refuses. When she leaves, Scarred Guy watches her and the employee tells him he told Junhee he doesn't know Si-hyun just like he asked. A sad Junhee ends up at Chan-young and Yeonjun's workshop and she sees the chair Yeonjun had made. She remembers him saying he picked up a hobby because a school friend said he should not rely on just grades. He adds that he was heavily influenced by this friend. She then tells Chan-young about her dream as Minju. She cannot help but feel that Si-hyun is Yeonjun even though they have two different personalities. Later, Kai-won contacts her and she tells him about her dream too. He says that at one point Minju had said she was Junhee and gives her Minju's diary. Junhee recognizes the entry she wrote about in Jayu's confession and she is in disbelief that she really traveled back in time. A page is torn and after that, there is an entry on August 29, 1998 with one line, "That boy is Yeonjun." She thinks it means that Si-hyun was Yeonjun all along and that she needs to travel back in time. She plays the cassette which takes her back in time. She ends up in July 9, 1998, the same day she and Kai-won were bickering about her music tastes. She asks if the cops have arrived yet, and right on cue, they do. She remembers Yeonjun liked time-traveling movies. He says he wants to go back to a time before he knew her and tell his younger self about how great Junhee is. She says she would go back in time and tell him that she is the only woman he will ever love. Junhee finds Si-hyun in the library and tears up. But he is busy fantasizing over which K-pop girl group he should date and she is annoyed that she got emotional and went back in time to find a jerk like him. As she storms off, she realizes that Yeonjun is 11 years old in 1998 and wonders why Minju wrote that last entry. Si-hyun runs after her and someone watches them from afar. At the record shop, she checks her diary and the 10th of August entry is not there. Minju dies in a few months, so if she is to meet Yeonjun it would be now, but none of it makes, and Junhee screams in frustration. Meanwhile, her uncle is confused by her mood swings. Si-hyun works part-time within Jayu at his grandmother's shop and he says they should go check on Minju as she is upset. And Jayu says he will go alone as Minju now knows about his feelings and that Si-hyun should back off. Si-hyun acts happy for his friend but looks conflicted. And Jayu goes to the shop to take Junhee home and she thanks him for his support. Si-hyun is playing basketball alone and recalls the previous conversation. And Jayu also requests him to stay away from Minju so she forgets him and starts liking in Jayu. But Si-hyun cannot seem to understand why he is worried about Minju crying. Amidst the rivalry, Junhee is more annoyed about how to get back to 2023 now that Yeonjun isn't in 1998. She thinks listening to the cassette will help her go back to 2023. Her mom is mad at her for skipping school and being mean. Junhee is apologetic and promises everything will be fine soon. At school, Jayu spots Si-hyun asking about Minju and he gets mad. He picks a fight with him and acts jealous thinking Si-hyun is going to see Minju. Si-hyun asks if he is ending their friendship over a girl. Junhee's plan flops and she is annoyed that she is still stuck in 1998. Si-hyun takes her to a clearing on a hill and she cribs the whole way. He asks why she was upset earlier but she doesn't care about him checking on her. She is sleepy but he makes her listen. He rants to her about Jayu and how he should be helping him get her. As he rambles about how they should see each other as just Jayu's friends, she falls asleep. He is flabbergasted but says he can finally reveal his true feelings now that she is sleeping. He says his heart hurt when he saw her cry and when she hugged him in the hospital. He goes to sleep beside her and in a flashback, Yeonjun tells Junhee that she doesn't need to tell his past self that she is his as he will always know. She wakes up and sees Si-hyun sleeping next to her. She touches his cheek and he wakes up.